And welcome to the news. A Wednesday bulletin, as usual, will deliver an hour and a half of your views, reviews, previews, and interviews with the Nigerian story at the forefront of the package. We will be evaluating key initiatives in key sectors while tracking unfolding developments in different locations across the country. Tonight, just terminus market fire. Traders count losses as experts give pointers on fire prevention and control measures needed in commercial hubs. On education, federal government gives licenses to 11 new private universities.
The whole idea is to see how we can produce products that will not just build aircraft, but will have certifications from Boeing, Airbus, Gulfstream, Embraer, and so on and so forth.
On infrastructural development, we have updates on some key roads and engine challenges and the efforts to surmount the hills and valleys on the way to development. Plus, the hope for a black pope, correspondent on what to expect from the conclave next week. We'll also give you the latest in the world of business with Benny Adams as the federal government reaffirms its commitment to the nation's sustainable economic growth. While in sports, Badia Deleye has a preview of the African Under-20 Championship in Egypt. It's an eclectic ensemble, but don't take my word for it. After all, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. I'm Yan Ray John, and this is News Extra. Welcome. Time to set sail now as Nigeria is committed to unlocking the full potential of its human and natural resources to become a leading force on the African continent. Vice President Karshi Road stated this when he received a delegation from the Hettai School of Governance, Berlin, led by senior fellow Rolf Otter at the presidential villa. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jabrila reports.
Nigeria is actively seeking expertise from the global best institutions to enhance policy formulation and implementation, particularly in human capital development. This meeting is another avenue to transform lives of Nigerians, as Vice President Kashim Shettima describes the German Institute as a valuable partner in the journey.
And no matter how well a policy or plan is developed, the detail is in the implementation. How good are we at implementing those policies? And I want to assure you that the current crop of leadership in Nigeria under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is ready, willing to unleash the full potentials of the Nigerian nation on the African continent. So I wish to implore on you to really have a very warm, robust partnership with the government and people of Nigeria.
Reiterating the government's priority in upskilling Nigerians, Vice President Kashim Shettima said skills are at the center in achieving the Human Capital Development 2.0 program.
Strategy is there. It's there for the states to cascade, and there is need to now support all the implementers, not only the states, the MDAs, the actors, with capacity building. One of the other things that has been identified is the coordinated collaboration.
The delegation congratulated the Tinubu administration for the successful launch and implementation of the Human Capital Development Strategy, describing it as ambitious and targeted towards the improvement of the lives of the citizens.
We will look at entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship means jobs, means employment, means income, and it means that everyone benefits from improvements in the way that the strategy will be implemented as fast as possible.
The German delegation promised to work closely with authorities in Nigeria across different levels to deliver programs that are specifically designed to address the unique needs of the country. From the State House, Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
And away from the State House, the Senate is investigating the planned divestment at Lafage Cement worth 83.81% between two foreign investors to ensure that due process is followed. The Senate Committee on Capital Market interacted with key government institutions on their roles in the acquisition. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
We are not trying to undermine foreign investors' interest in Nigeria. That's not what we're doing. We're saying that things has to be done properly. Our interest here should be that 83.81% holding of foreigners in Lafage. If they want to divest it, there's nobody stopping them from divesting what they have. But what did the memo and article of Lafage say in terms of transfer of shares?
The subject of inquiry here by the committee is the $1 billion deal between Lafage Africa, a leading cement manufacturer, and a Chinese company, Huaxin Cement, as the latter prepares to acquire the company. The Capital Markets Committee explained that the planned acquisition is a subject of concern to some local investors.
The Nigerian 16% holders are not comfortable with the proposed sale.
You said it's a transaction between two corporate entities out there. One is transferring shares to the other, and that there is no change in terms of status quo. There is immediately going to be. We don't even know the background, like I said, of the other company out there, the Chinese company. We don't have any. Do you have their profile?
The Securities and Exchange Commission, as well as the Bureau for Public Enterprises, made submissions before the committee on the proposal.
For BP, we are very careful in terms of our interaction and the level of interference that we have. We are trying to ensure that while trying to attract foreign direct investment as government, that we don't send the wrong message.
This shareholding has never been held by Nigerians. It has been held by foreign companies. And so what this transaction before us is doing is that it's a different international entity that is transferring to another international entity. And our law does not allow us to descend into the arena of who acquires what.
What they do at FCCPC is to look at the antitrust issue, but that transaction is supposed to still come to look at fairness to shareholders, in this case, especially the minority shareholders. And then again, we have clear provision for block divestment or acquisition, as the case may be.
The committee is engaged the management of Lafage Cement as it also inquires from the Corporate Affairs Commission details of articles of incorporation of the company. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Still in the National Assembly, but looking at the Green Chamber now, which is focusing and urging agencies of government to keep abreast with modern trends in budgets in order to prepare and implement budgets that will impact on citizens. Chairman, House Committee on Legislative Budget and Research, Mohammed Bayo, stated this in Abuja at a capacity building training for finance and audit personnel drawn from government agencies across the country. National Assembly correspondent Mitari Igben feeds us.
This training seeks to close knowledge gaps in budgeting and budget processes in government ministries, departments and agencies. Some of the gaps have been identified by lawmakers in the course of budget defense and oversight visits to agencies. The sessions range from introduction to modern tools and techniques for preparing reliable budgets to discussions on the social implications of poor budget decisions on the masses. The overriding objective is to equip those responsible for budgeting with best practices that will guide their decisions.
It's sad to allocate money for a particular project that will impact positively in the lives of our citizens. Then you see that the money is being diverted to certain things that are insignificant. That is why we have decided that, okay, let us assume most of these people don't know what they are doing. Let us orientate them. Let us give them adequate orientation.
Budget is actually data-driven. And that is why that the budget officers must be people who have cognate experiences and ability, knowledge about data analytics and the data mining.
Because a lot of MDAs and organizations has issue with this budget planning and implementation. And it's a very good initiative.
I think I've learned more on transparency on the budget.
We are going to apply the knowledge we've gained now as a tool to producing more efficient and impactful budgets.
Trainers expect that trainees at this capacity building will be leveraging on insights and expertise gained to improve budgeting and budgetary processes at various ministries, departments, and agencies of government going forward. From the National Assembly, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
Elsewhere, shareholders of the Development Bank of Nigeria have approved the acquisition of 25% equity in the proposed Nigerian Youth Entrepreneurship Investment Bank with a $2.5 million subscription to support youth entrepreneurship and economic growth. The bank also declared a dividend of 58 naira 35 kobo per share for the 2024 financial year. These were highlights of the 8th annual general meeting held in Abuja. Muplang Dakok has all the details.
Shareholders approved a total dividend of 58 naira 35 kobo on each share, forming the capital of the bank for the financial year 2024.
The recommendation of the Board of Directors is based on the maximum 25% dividend payout ratio in line with the DBN dividend policy, which was approved by shareholders at the 6th annual general meeting of the bank.
They also ratified the reappointment of Mr. Kyari Abubakar as independent non-executive director and Mrs. Ijoma Ozolumba as executive director for another 4-year term in line with the bank's articles of association. Managing Director Tony Okpanachi said the proposed youth bank expected to launch by the end of this year is a collaborative effort to boost access to finance for young entrepreneurs.
It's going to be an investment vehicle that we're going to be used to be able to provide equity investment in youth-owned businesses. So don't confuse it with a typical bank as the case may be. Working with African Development Bank, we are going to provide additional funding through debt. We're going to provide that platform to invest in youth-owned businesses and improve, encourage entrepreneurship in Nigeria.
Other resolutions included the reappointment of 3 directors, approval for directors to fix external auditors' fees, and a revised remuneration structure for non-executive directors. In Abuja, Muplang Dakok, NTA News.
Let's have more business news now with Benny Adams as our guide. Benny.
Thank you, Henry. And now President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved the composition of a committee to organize Nigeria's hosting of the 4th African Union Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Forum, scheduled to hold between June 23rd and 27 in Abuja, with the theme Building Resilient MSMEs through Digital Innovation, Market Access, and Affordable Financing for Africa. The committee is to ensure adequate planning for the successful hosting of the forum, which will feature paper presentations, panel discussions, sponsored side events, exhibitions, networking, and MSMEs business pitching events and presentation of prizes to deserving Nigerian entrepreneurs. The committee, which has Deputy Chief of Staff to the President, Ibrahim Hassan Hadeja, as chairman, also has a special advisor to the President on job creation and MSMEs, Temitola Adekunle Johnson, as the host country coordinator and secretary of the committee.
SMEs, well over, close to about 6,000 SMEs from all African countries, and about 145 different partners all over the world coming to Nigeria to sort of explore how to help SMEs within the country and the continent in general.
Now, it's big news for Nigeria's real estate industry as the Ministry of Finance Incorporated, that is MOFI, signing a memorandum of understanding with Shelter Afrique Development Bank to strengthen the country's housing sector through the MOFI Real Estate Investment Fund. Nekaoko reports that the partnership, which builds on funds' proven success following 2 fully subscribed funding rounds, aims to enhance structured financing, capital mobilization, and risk sharing for housing and urban development projects.
This MOU symbolizes an incredible partnership that allows developers in Nigeria to have access to financing at scale that they've not had before, and they've been having challenges to raise that.
Because government alone cannot achieve it. The crisis is large and it's increasing by the day, right? With the urban flows and urbanization across the continent. So this is why this structure is very much important.
And still talking investment, the Minister of Trade and Investment, Dr. Jumoke Oduole, says the ministry is targeting to facilitate $6 billion in foreign investment into Nigeria's productive economy in 2025. Speaking at the closing gong ceremony at Nigerian Exchange in her honor, Oduole revealed that the financial targets, the strategic vision of $6 billion target, $3 billion is projected to come from foreign direct investment into key sectors such as infrastructure, manufacturing, agribusiness, technology, and renewable energy, while another $3 billion will be mobilized through foreign portfolio investment by leveraging innovative financial instruments like green bonds, diaspora-linked securities, and SMEs-focused platforms. She says that will be achieved in partnership with the Nigerian Exchange Group. Now, still talking markets, on the global market, talking about Nigerian Exchange, closed on the negative note today with the all-share index depreciating to 105,800.85 basis points. A total of 17,519 deals were executed during the session, with investors trading 392.99 million units of shares, valued at over 12.75 billion naira. Meanwhile, the market capitalization, listed equities stood strong, approximately 66.5 trillion naira, indicating the depth and resilience of the market. That is it on the market update today.
Thanks, Benny, for the update. We head to Plateau State now, where the government is assuring traders affected by the late Tuesday night fire at Jos Terminal's main market of its support in mitigating the effects of the incident. The State Commissioner for Information and Communication, Joyce Loya Ramnap, stated this in Jos after inspecting the level of damage. The young Adiyaba Gyang reports.
Reacting to the fire incident that led to the destruction of properties worth millions of naira, the Plateau State government expressed deep sadness and sympathy over the incident, describing it as a devastating blow to the state's economy and share in the grief of those that suffer losses. After inspecting level of damage, the state government is calling on all market stakeholders to work together in prioritizing safety and implementing necessary measures to avoid recurrence of such incidents.
We will meet with the traders to get the details of what has happened, the number of shops that have been affected by this fire incident, and then the possible ways that we can come to the aid of the victims of this unfortunate inferno.
One of the major mandates of the Federal Fire Service is to create awareness, fire safety awareness. So we go to markets, we go to public places to sensitize people on how to be fire safety cautious.
The fire incident is the third since 2002, when fire destroyed the Jos main market, adjudged to be the largest in West Africa. Since then, efforts to rebuild the market has not been successful. In Jos, Nigerian and Abuja, NTA News.
We hope to get in the course of this bulletin to get more updates as regards the fire incident there. Now, looking at other stories, ongoing transformation of Nadra's public procurement system has received a boost with the launch of the Nadra Procurement Certification Program to sustain transparency and accountability in line with President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda that is focused on purposeful leadership. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, embraced the initiative as a transformative tool that will address the challenges in public procurement. Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara reports.
The birth of a unique procurement certification portal is an initiative by the Bureau of Public Procurement to enhance monitoring and oversight of public procurement, set standards to meet global best practices, and make public service transparent and accountable.
This also includes partnering with the states and local governments. Together, we'll move the 54.99 trillion budget to actualization, towards giving us value, ensuring we reduce wastages, ensuring we create employment opportunities.
The Minister of Information and National Orientation says this is the right thinking that is already offering digital access to procurement processes and providing effective governance in Nigeria.
The introduction of this digital portal is not just a technological upgrade. It is a transformative tool that addresses some of the most critical challenges in public procurement, such as persistent bottlenecks, including suboptimal procurement practices. Now, in the past, we know that once any head of agency or any minister takes anything to the BPP, you don't really know what sample it takes. But under Dr. Adebowale, he has a time frame. The citizens of Nigeria must understand that this portal is not just a tool for government, it is also a tool for all of them to demand better services, to expect greater transparency, and to hold institutions accountable.
The minister was among dignitaries at the launch of the Defense Holdings Company Limited. Here, he acknowledged the deliberate investment in the military by the renewed Hope government within the last 2 years as a promise kept in the fight against insecurity.
I call on the media to please help by imbibing media literacy so that all purveyors of fake news can be identified and be punished. You cannot, of course we have press freedom. Press freedom is the responsibility of every government to keep. But I want to say that freedom of expression also carries enormous responsibility. You cannot publish falsehood and think that you are doing press freedom. Press freedom is only available when you are speaking the truth.
He equally re-emphasized the need for public collaboration with relevant security agencies. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
Let's now head to Jos, where Ndeyang is standing by to give us the latest as regards the terminus fire. Ndeyang, how are you doing this evening, and what's the situation in Jos, particularly the terminus market that experienced the fire outbreak some hours ago? Tell us, what's the latest?
Yes, thank you, Nyere. Good to join you. One of the major takeaways from this fire incident is that of increased awareness on safety measures and disaster management in private and public places. This is to ensure that in the event of any fire incident, people do not incur huge losses such as we had today at the Jos Terminus main market. On the whole, the city center where the market is situated is calm as victims await possible assistance from stakeholders. Right now, behind me, you can see some white vehicles. Those are actually security agents that are on ground guarding the market area and ensuring that everything is peaceful. And they are also diverting traffic from the main Murtala Mohammed Way where the market is. So everything is calm. But meanwhile, the Plateau State Police Command has launched an investigation into the incident to ascertain the cause of the fire outbreak, and the value of the property destroyed. Nyere?
Young, but just before I let you go, did you speak with some of the traders who lost property in the fire outbreak? What's their state at the moment? Do they feel there's hope?
Actually not a pleasant day for the traders because huge amounts of monies have been lost, running into millions. Some of them just restocked their stores, and majority of them are small and medium-scale entrepreneurs who are trying to make ends meet. It's not a very cheerful day for them. They are keeping calm and hopeful that succor will come their way soon.
All right, that's a good way to end the conversation. Many thanks, Ndayang. Keep your eyes and your ears on the matter and let us know when you have new developments. Thank you very much. All right, now looking at other stories, President Bola Tinubu congratulates Aliko Dangote, the president of Dangote Group, on his appointment to the World Bank's Private Sector Investment Lab, a body tasked with promoting investment and job creation in emerging economies. The president describes the appointment as apt, given Dangote's rich private sector experience. President Tinubu urges Dangote to bring to bear on the World Bank appointment his transformative ideas and initiatives to impact the emerging markets across the world fully. Now, the federal government has declared Thursday, May 1, 2025, a public holiday to mark this year's Workers' Day celebration. Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, who made the announcement in a statement, praised Nigerian workers for their diligence and sacrifice, describing their efforts as the bedrock of national greatness. He emphasized the importance of peace, innovation and productivity in driving economic growth and national development. The minister reaffirmed the government's commitment to the security of lives and property, urging citizens to keep hope alive under President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. It's time for a break. More news on the other side. Stay with us. Many thanks for remaining with us. As the Catholic Church mourns the passing of Pope Francis, preparations intensify for the conclave scheduled to begin on May 7, where cardinals from around the world will gather to elect his successor. Amid a time of reflection and transition, speculation grows over who among the eligible cardinals might emerge as the next pope. Ekene Ndulwe has details.
Beneath the majesty of Santa Maria Maggiore Basilica, Pope Francis was laid to rest, and with him, an era defined by humility and hope. But the Church cannot pause for long. The Vatican has announced that the conclave to elect a new pope will commence on May 7. The conclave is a secretive and traditional process where cardinals under the age of 80 gather to elect the leader of the Catholic Church. The election takes place in the Sistine Chapel, with cardinals casting secret ballots until a candidate secures a 2/3 majority. The process concludes with the appearance of white smoke from the chapel chimney, signaling the election of a new pope. Approximately 135 cardinal electors from 71 countries are eligible to participate in the upcoming conclave. Among them, from Nigeria, is Peter Ebere Opaleke, the Bishop of Ekulobia in Anambra State, Nigeria. Opaleke is one of the 21 new cardinals named by Pope Francis in August 2022. The cardinals are expected to convene at the Domus Santa Marta, a residence within Vatican City, where they will be sequestered from the outside world during the conclave. The election process is expected to last several days, with 4 voting sessions held daily until a new pope is elected. Speculations are rising regarding the direction the Catholic Church may take. Some anticipate a pope who continues the reformist path of Pope Francis, while others foresee a return to more traditional approaches.
I read the Pope that will serve
for the faithful. Possibly if black man is the African man.
It's just a very simple expectation for the Holy Spirit to choose the right person to lead the church. It's not a political position.
For the Catholic clergy in Nigeria, race or nationality does not matter.
We want a good pope, a holy pope, a pope that is there for the people. Wherever he comes from and whoever he is does not matter. This is the point. We just pray that God will give us a good pope, a holy pope, a pope that will lead the flock unto salvation. This is all we are praying for.
As preparations intensify for the historic conclave set for May 7 in the Vatican City, the eyes of over 1 billion Catholics, including millions here in Nigeria, remain fixed on Rome. It is also worthy to note that the month of May is dedicated to the Blessed Virgin Mary by the Catholic Church, and it is the prayer of the faithful that Mother Mary intercedes in the selection process. In Abuja, Ekene Ndulwe, NTA News.
Many thanks, Kene, for that report. And now joining us in the studio is the Director of Communications, Catholic Archdiocese of Abuja. He's also a Vatican expert, having worked at the Vatican Radio for 12 years. Many thanks for joining us, Reverend Father.
Thank you.
All right. Now, with 135 cardinal electors eligible to vote in the election of a new pope, what are the key steps involved in the papal conclave? Reverend Father?
What's your question?
What are the steps involved in the papal conclave, which is about to begin?
Okay, so the cardinals are already in Rome at the moment. Right now, there's a 9-day period of preparation and a period of mourning the Pope, the famous Novem Diales. It's a period for prayer and expectations for the beginning of the conclave. And so in this period, already there's a novena prepared for the cardinals and for the entire church in the world to pray for the new pope who will be elected.
While the Catholic faithful pray for a new pope, the successor of Pope Francis must win a 2/3 majority. Tell us about it.
Yes. So in order to have a process that will be sustainable and to allow for stability in the church, the law says that the cardinals have to elect a pope based on a 2/3 majority. And this is done through a whole process. It could be done in 2 or 3 days. It could go on for about a week. But the first day, there's only 1 ballot. On the second day, there will be 4 ballots. 2 ballots in the morning before lunch and 2 ballots after lunch in the evening. This first ballots usually throw up the names that are likely to be elected. So in the remaining ballots, the Pope is just then chosen from the names that have come up. So they choose then, and then gradually they are able to arrive at a name that gets a 2/3 majority. And that could take 3 days or 4 days. The last time during Pope Francis' election, it took only 2 days.
All right, not about the days now. Let's look at those who are in this race of becoming a new pope. Do you think there's a chance for a black pope?
Oh, well, there's always a chance for a black pope. I've often said to people who don't know that there have been 3 African popes in the past, and this will be the 4th if we have a black pope elected this time. The spirit guides the electors, and as you heard the Archbishop of Abuja say a short while ago there. What we need actually is a good Pope. He might be an African, he may be an American, or someone from Latin America, or from Europe. What we need actually, truly, to lead the church is a good, holy Pope who can continue with the teaching of Christ.
A good Pope. Let's also mention that our own Cardinal Palike is also in this race. But, you know, like you've said, we hope that the Christian faith gets the best. Now, how do cardinals really discern God's will when selecting a new Pope?
Well, there's a whole period of prayer involved in during the conclave. There are prayers in the morning, there are prayers at noontime, there are prayers in the evening, daily, along with the novena, which I mentioned earlier has been prepared. So the cardinals pray continually. It's a serious moment of communal prayer, and through that then they are inspired.
You have mentioned prayer many times in all of this, but we know there's a black and white smoke also in the mix of all this. Tell us about it.
Yes, okay. So every time there's a ballot and a pope is not elected, there's a black smoke that goes up in the chimney to show that a ballot has been cast, but no pope has been elected. Every time the black smoke comes up, it's clear that no pope has been elected. Then, when a pope has been elected by a 2/3 majority, the white smoke goes up in the chimney. And then it's clear to everyone that a new pope has been elected. When that is done, the pope then is asked to choose a name which he will have. And as soon as that is done, he is brought up to the balcony in front of St. Peter's Basilica.
All right.
And then the announcement, Habemus Papam, we have a pope, to the chair of the hundreds of thousands of people who are waiting.
Of course, we are all waiting to know who the new pope will be, and of course we hope that God's will is done. Many thanks, Reverend Father Patrick Alumuku, for joining us on News Extra tonight. We appreciate you for your time.
Thank you so much.
All right, now let's see other news. As many lives of Nadrans were touched through a medical outreach and other empowerment initiatives, courtesy of the 39 regular intake of the Nigerian army, who gathered in Okene, Kogi State, to celebrate their 30th anniversary. The celebration was both grand and deeply rooted in cultural display. Jonathan Amajali takes us through this ride.
In Okene, Kogi State, a wave of excitement sweeps through the ancient town as cultural pride and history come alive. Veterans of the Nigerian Army's 39 regular intake, who enlisted on 20th March 1995, reunite to celebrate a remarkable bond that has endured for decades. Their association, known as the 39 Best Friends Empowerment Initiative, has become a beacon of hope, supporting communities and families of fallen comrades through various outreach programs.
We are glad that we serve the nation in this capacity to make sure that our nation is protected, to make sure that peace reigns in our nation.
Hosting the 30th anniversary is one of their own, the current Ohinoyi of Ebira land.
So many of our culture that they showcase here today, many people have used this opportunity to buy many things from this event. It's another improvement to our kingdom, because whenever they go back, they have something to go and tell others.
Hospitality to strangers, the way they welcome us, in fact, Ibira culture is one of the best culture in Nigeria.
The 39 regular intake marked the occasion by bringing relief to the kingdom through a free medical outreach. From mosque to church, they offered heartfelt thanks to God for a cherished past and prayed for a bright future. Visits to historical sites added a colorful touch to an already grand celebration. In Okene, Jonathan Majali, NTA News.
Let's head to the courtroom now, where the Court of Appeal, Calabar Division, Cross River State, has upheld the conviction and 3-year sentence handed down to Professor Peter Ogban of the University of Calabar for tampering with election results during the 2019 Akwa Ibom senatorial election. The appellate court affirmed the verdict of the High Court in Ikotakmene, which found Ogban guilty of electoral fraud. The 3-man panel of justices strongly criticized the professor's actions, especially given his responsibility to uphold the credibility of the electoral process. Professor Ogban, a soil physics expert, served as a returning officer in the controversial senatorial election. Following investigations by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, he was found to have deliberately manipulated figures to increase votes of a particular candidate at the expense of his opponent. The case is part of a broader push by INEC to make electoral offenders accountable. Elsewhere, in a move to improve education and healthcare delivery in Nigeria, the federal government has announced a 100 billion naira investment towards enhancing the study of medicine, dentistry, pharmacy and nursing in 18 universities across the country. Details of that report will come in our subsequent bulletins. Meanwhile, 2 universities stood out as the federal government presented provisional licenses to 11 newly approved private universities. The Tony Iradia University of Mass Communication and the Isaac Balami University of Aeronautics and Management as stakeholders laud the federal government's commitment to producing industry-specific graduates. Zenret Dingmon reports.
It might have been a long walk, but a fruitful one nonetheless, as Nigeria gets its first ever University of Mass Communication, where journalism and its sister professions will have in-depth, specialized and professional training.
The concentration will make it such that those who come out of there will be experts. And so we are merely trying to produce experts for the industries, so that when we come out, you don't have somebody like half media related, half general related. So this is a specialized university.
The whole idea is to see how we can produce products that will not just build aircraft, but will have certifications from Boeing, Airbus, Gulfstream, Embraer, and so on and so forth.
To boost the morale of the community and the entire youth that are coming back, we are ready to compete with challenges.
For the federal government, it is about an assured future for Nigerians that is globally competitive, developing a more vibrant human capital for the nation.
During this provisional status, typically 3 years, you will be closely monitored by the NUC. This oversight is necessary to ensure your orderly development and strict adherence to the well-established standards that govern the operations of all universities within Nigeria.
Our universities must also be places of meaning and impactful research. Many of our societal problems today would have been solved today if relevant researches were done and followed through to product creation.
The Minister of Education calls on the proprietors to uphold standards and not compromise values and professionalism. In Abuja, Zenred Dingmoon, NTA News.
And still on education, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has once again demonstrated its commitment to inclusive education by supporting 501 physically challenged candidates to sit for the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME. The candidates are writing their exams across 11 specialized centers nationwide. Olainka Ojo reports that while monitoring the ongoing UTME at the Center for the Blind at the National Open University of Nigeria, now Abuja, the Minister of State for Education, Professor Suwaiba Ahmed, applauded JAMB's sustained efforts in breaking barriers in Nigeria's education sector.
Since 2017, JAMB, through its Equal Opportunity Group, has conducted UTME examinations for persons with disabilities. Now, in its 9th year, the initiative has benefited a total of 3,490 candidates who sat for the examination at 11 designated special centers across the country. This year, 501 candidates with various forms of physical challenges are writing the UTME examination under this inclusive framework. At the Abuja Center, where 33 candidates took part in the exercise, I met Danladi Paul, a visually impaired candidate who completed his secondary education in 2021 at Government College, Obi, Nasarawa State. Danladi aspires to study mass communication at the Nasarawa State University, Kefi.
I want to be as radio programmer so that I will use that advantage to voice out for our colleagues which they are still at home.
Another candidate, Joy Vincent, also shares her experience.
Before now, I personally thought that there was no hope for visually impaired to go to school, but I found out that there was hope for us, and I'm thankful.
Professor Sueba Ahmed praised JAM for aligning with federal government's inclusive education policy. She notes that the body not only ensures accessibility for candidates, but also cover all associated costs and provisions of personal aids for each special needs candidate.
One of the major visions for the country is creating opportunity for every Nigerian. Being physically challenged or being deaf or being special needs does not mean that you cannot actually contribute to your own development, to development of your family, but also generally to the development of the country.
We mainstream also their peculiar needs. Peculiar need is that no announcement is made at any center where a deaf candidate is, except in written form.
JAM reiterates that its commitment to equity and inclusivity remains non-negotiable, and as part of its support, the board presented new braille sets to each visually impaired candidate to assist in their academic pursuit. Olainka Ojo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Federal University of Transportation, Daura, is embarking on massive infrastructural development in line with best practices. The university's governing board council unanimously agreed to invest heavily in ICT to fast-track virtual learning across the globe. Transport correspondent Ladi Bala has more on this development.
It's the intervention.
The fifth governing council meeting of the Federal University of Transportation, Daura, reviewed the university's progress and achievements, identifying areas that require urgent attention to elevate the institution's standing.
It is expected that by the next 2 years now, we should be graduating students to start with. We also expect our externship to have been formalized and structured properly to the extent of having an exchange program for our students. Then, of course, we also expect that the university will have gained some traction in terms of more infrastructure, particularly.
We want to have blended learning. That you don't need to go to the aura physically to learn, and you don't need to go to the aura physically to lecture. And that cannot happen with a strong ICT base. And that's why the council strongly recommended and deliberated and recommended and discharged that the ICT must be in place.
Council members resolved to pursue academic excellence, positioning the university as a premier hub for transportation engineering in Africa. In Abuja, Ladibala, NTA News.
Away from education, let's take a look at health, as cancer diagnosis coupled with the overwhelming cost of treatment often feels like a death sentence, particularly for low-income patients and their families. The financial burden of out-of-pocket expenses for essential cancer care can devastate entire households, leaving them struggling long after the diagnosis. Oluseyi Adiagbo in this Solution Journalism feature explores the bottlenecks cancer victims face and the ray of hope for sufferers of this deadly disease, courtesy of the federal government.
Discovered she had breast cancer.
It's about 6 months since Ibrahim Olabanji and his siblings lost their mother to breast cancer.
It was really challenging because we needed funds to actually push our treatment, which was way beyond our power, because we were looking at over 13 million naira. So we resorted to, traditional medicine. We lost on the 28th of November 2024.
Cancer treatments in Nigeria is capital intensive. chemotherapy session, a critical part of cancer care, ranges from 600,000 naira to 1.5 million naira. The story of Ibrahim's family reflects what many Nigerians are going through in search for a relief and in nurturing hope to live another day. In response to this reality of financial despondency, the Nigerian government has introduced the Cancer Health Fund, CHF. The program, which was solely managed by the Federal Ministry of Health till 2017, was reformed to include multi-sectoral response to cancer, with the establishment of the National Institute for Cancer Research and Treatment, NICRADS.
At the point of transfer of the implementation to the Institute, over 720 Nigerians benefited from the program. Well, from the time the program is transferred to the Institute so far, we have attended to over 294 Nigerians with cancer.
The doctor told me they wrote my prescription and I'll be spending over 1 million. I shocked.
Miriam Salami, mother of two, started a long walk to breast cancer treatment when she saw a lump in her breast in 2022, while Mary Oyinloye began hers in 2018.
My type of cancer is triple positive. So there's this particular injection that I take for 400 and something naira. So you can imagine that amount every 3 weeks. But by the time the CHF came in, I was paying 495,000 for one Herceptin. To be sincere, if that CHF was not available that time, I would have given up on the drugs.
It was when the Solades got to 145,000 naira that I got my CHF. It really come of help when there was nothing.
The CHF program at the moment responds to 3 major types of cancers: breast cancer, cervical and prostate cancer. This limitation leaves patients of other forms of cancer in the cold. With over 1,000 beneficiaries in the scheme and the large number of those on the waiting list, the CHF initiative may just seem like a drop in the ocean.
While I appreciate it being there at first, while I am also thankful to God, because as an advocate I see people it has helped. And again, I use at every medium to either spark for action so that one, it will be increased.
We've gotten the mandate to really expand the National Cancer Health Fund. So at the Institute, we've set up a technical committee that reviewed the operational model of the National Cancer Health Fund, and the plan is to expand it to virtually all the centers that treat cancer in the country.
The alarm bell rings very loudly with a rhythm that screams underfunding. A proactive public-private partnership may just be the key. Indeed, the National Institute for Cancer Research and Treatment, NICRADS, with collaborative efforts and more support from organized private sector, could perhaps prevent others from suffering the same fate like Ibrahim's mother. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
Many thanks, Olusheye, for that report. Now time for another break, please. Glad to have you back. Jigawa State Governor Umar Namadi has been recognized as Nadra's most pensioner-friendly leader. The National Union of Pensioners presented the award commending his administration's dedication to improving the welfare of retired civil servants. Mohammed Musa Askira reports.
Governor Umar Namadi has been named the most pensioners-friendly governor in the country by the National Union of Pensioners. The honor was conferred during the union's National Congress held in Abuja. The award was received on behalf of the governor by the Jigawa State Head of Civil Service, Muhammad Dakachiri, and later presented to the governor at the government house in Dutse.
This is because of his tireless effort and support to Jigawa State pensioners. His Excellency appointed an advisor among the pensioners on labor matters. This, the pensioners in Jigawa State looks unique.
In order to ensure sustainability, we have initiated a review of the law so as to address the manufacturing aspect of the law, and that will ensure sustainability. We have also ensured that there is a great serious stakeholders engagement, public hearing, to involve all the stakeholders to ensure that what we are coming up with will definitely be in the interest of the people of Jigawa State.
Jigawa State has emerged as a model in pension administration, attracting commendation and study visits from other states across Nigeria. In the last 21 months, the Namadi-led administration has expended over 7.5 billion naira on pension payments and entitlements. Pensioners, according to stakeholders in the state, receive their monthly pension promptly, while gratuity is paid just within 1 month of retirement. The National Union of Pensioners described the award as a recognition of human and purposeful leadership demonstrated by Governor Umar Namadi's dedication to the well-being of retired public servants. From Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
The Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, says a lot has been achieved in the last 2 years of the present administration to improve road infrastructure across the country. The Minister stated this in Lafayette at the midterm review meeting of the Council of Works. Aliu Tijani reports that the minister was represented by the Minister of State, Bello Mohammed Goronyo.
It's 2 years of the renewed hope mandate, and the Federal Ministry of Works is giving its scorecard while accessing implementation of the renewed hope transformation of road sector. All commissioners of works and permanent secretaries from across the country are also in attendance to appraise performance in the sector, challenges and prospects.
It's an avenue for all commissioner of works and people involved in road infrastructure to put heads together and develop strategies how we can make life easy for our people.
Minister of State for Works, who will represent Minister of Works, reiterates the commitment of the present administration to open up more routes and rehabilitate the deplorable ones.
Let us work together with unity of purpose and commitment to excellence, ensuring that the exercise is fruitful and translates into tangible benefits to our nation.
Governor Abdullahi Sule expresses worry over the deplorable state of Kefi, Nasarawa Abaji Road, among other roads in the state, and appeal for urgent intervention to ease plight of the commuters.
The team is not only apt, but provides a veritable opportunity for us to reflect back at our collective achievements in the road sector so far.
The theme of the summit is accessing renewed hope transformation of road transport sector, and the outcome of the council meeting is expected to boost interventions in road infrastructure nationwide. In Lafayette, Aliu Tijani, NTA News.
Meanwhile, high expectations of more than a decade on the Apo Karshi Road project are becoming reality, as the road project is now receiving renewed commitment of the current FCT administration. Abdullahi Ajiya, who has been monitoring developments, has something new from his latest visits to the more than 13 kilometers Wasa Junction to Karshi Road project site.
It is yet another visit to the Apo Karshi Road being constructed by the FCT administration. This is one road that we have underscored its importance over and over again, which residents are highly expectant of its completion.
I am an itinerant businessman around communities here. The hilly parts of the uncompleted road is still difficult to navigate. We have been desirous of the road to be completed because it will bring great joy to us and it will bring more human and capital development to this area.
The vision behind the Apo Karshi Road for over a decade has been to decongest the ever-busy Nyanyakubo Road that has served people plying that access for over how many decades. Now, this road has remained very important but not yet completed to serve its purpose. As we speak, the good news here is that there's been serious development as the road is in different stages of completion. We learned about 10 kilometers of the road has been completed and asphalted, while some kilometers has been on stone base. And the last part of it, where we currently are, is the earthwork with over 1 kilometer remaining to be completed. And for the contractors, they have a target date of completion set for May, June, if every other variables Ahmed.
This project, awarded in 2011, has suffered several delays for technical and financial reasons, which have been put behind, and a glimmer of hope in sight for all parties.
Well, this latest visit reveals to us, obviously, that the commitment over a period of time has seen to what we are all saying here. This asphalted road is about 3 kilometers, we learned from the project manager, coming from the Karshi axis of the Apo Karshi Road project. Now, we also learned that this 3 kilometers will be linked up soon with the over 10 kilometers from the Wasser axis of the road, which is being targeted to be completed in May, June. Abdullahi Hajia, NTA News.
Many thanks, Abdullahi. Great work by the FCT Minister there. Now, the federal government has initiated moves to resolve administrative bottlenecks hindering private sector investment for major highway development in the country. This is as the government delegation met with concessionaires in Abuja to address concerns and foster collaboration under the Highway Development and Management Initiative, HDMI. Neka Oko reports.
Leading the discussion was the Finance Minister and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, in company of the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, as well as the Director General of the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission, ICRC. The concessionaires ready to finance the construction, rehabilitation and management of critical highways in the country have hesitated due to unresolved administrative and regulatory challenges.
The Honourable Minister for Budget and Economic Planning and myself are meeting with you, concessionaires who have requested a meeting on the back of the fact that the consortium in charge of the Benin-Asaba Highway have had the amended concession agreement signed off by the Honourable Minister for Works to reconstruct and indeed build and expand the current highway, 125 kilometers or so, to up to 10 lanes in parts, and to build it and then toll it and recover their funds from the concession agreement.
To support the private sector so that your investors, those who you approach for funding, will have a rest of mind that reforms have been put in place and will stay the course.
Issues raised at the meeting were not resolved, as the Minister of Finance rescheduled the meeting for another date when all parties involved would be present, including the Minister of Works. In Abuja, Neka Oko, NTA News.
And away from road infrastructure, let's look at power. As the Nigerian Army says the ongoing mass metering of barracks across the country has significantly enhanced power supply and optimizes energy consumption management in barracks. The Chief of Army Staff in the statement acknowledges progress of work in the Phase 1 of the project, which has so far covered installations of meters in Ikeja, Lagos State, Abakpa in Enugu State and Adekunle Fajuyi cantonments, among other barracks in Abuja, as it urges the contractor to expedite work on subsequent phases. With the Phase 1 nearing completion, the project generated 769 million naira in revenue between August 2024 and April 2025. The initiative, inaugurated in 2023 by the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, reflects broader efforts to resolve power deficits in critical sectors while fostering fiscal discipline through advanced metering solutions. In other news, shelter is among basic necessities of man. However, this is beyond the reach of many in developing countries, including Nigeria. Consequently, different administrations in Nigeria have continued to provide its citizens access to affordable housing loans to find solution to the estimated 28 million housing deficit in the country. In this report, housing correspondent Francis Udojo takes a look at efforts made by the government to reduce housing burden through its agencies.
Investigation revealed that the Federal Government Staff Housing Loans Board since 2024 till date has given affordable loans to over 500 public and civil servants within a single digit of 3% interest rate.
I'm a beneficiary of the federal government staff house loan. So when they look at my level, the salary I'm earning, the remaining years I have in service, they spread that 1/3 of my salary to my retirement time.
Despite these efforts, the board said many beneficiaries have defaulted. One of the major problems faced by civil servants is the inability to pay housing loans before retirement. However, I'm here at the office of the head of civil service of the Federation, where the Federal Housing Staff Loans Board is located, to find out how government can support defaulting civil servants.
Any person that is retiring from public service, it is in the civil service rules and regulations that you must come to the board and get a clearance that you have liquidated your loan, you are not indebted to the government.
With recent circular from the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation reminding defaulting civil servants to liquidate their loans, the soft landing is to liaise with government for additional time to pay up.
The title documents are with us. The original title document we normally use to collect it. So it is better for them to come to the board, we'll look at it, look at how much they are still owing to the government so that we can find a way of resolving it.
Meanwhile, the Federal Government Mortgage Bank of Nigeria said since its establishment in 1993, it has delivered about 39,000 new homes, 25,500 mortgages, and over 120,000 micro-housing loans, all within single-digit interest rates. In Abuja, Francis Udojo, NTA News.
The Nigerian Navy ship Pathfinder says it rescued 99 passengers from a mishap involving a market boat in a head-on collision on road Akoko-Turu local government area. Kingsley Amajiri has details.
A statement by Commander NNS Pathfinder Commodore Kajetan Aniako indicates that the incident happened in Tuma, 300 meters away from Naval Security Station NNS 35 along the Pukuma River axis. Operatives of NNS Pathfinder deployed to the Naval Security Station 35 in collaboration with other 4 naval gunboats launched a coordinated search and rescue operation leading to the rescue of all 99 passengers on board. The Nigerian Navy, in the statement, commended the Naval Rescue Team for acting promptly towards the successful rescue of the passengers despite the challenging conditions, thereby averting maritime disaster in the state. The Nigerian Navy notes that under the leadership of the incumbent Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, it will continue to ensure the security and safety of mariners within the nation's waterways. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
Let's pause here. Please remain tuned.
Deep sorrow that the board, management and staff of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, announced the passing of Chief Pascal Gabriel Doze, OON, which occurred on Tuesday, April 8, 2025. Chief Pascal Doze served as a member of the Board of Directors of the Central Bank of Nigeria from February 19, 1988 to April 25, 1991. The burial arrangements are as follows. Service of songs, Thursday, May 1, 2025. Landmark Event Center, Owerri, Imo State. Time 5 p.m. Funeral Mass, Friday, May 2nd, 2025. Maria Assumption Cathedral, Owerri, Imo State. Time 11 a.m. Private interment ceremony immediately after the funeral service on Friday, May 2nd, 2025. Private funeral reception Friday, May 2nd, 2025 at the residence of Chief Pascal Doze. Thanksgiving Mass Sunday, May 4th, 2025. SS Philip and James Catholic Church, Owerri, Imo State. Time 9:15 a.m. Chief Pascal Gabriel Doze is survived by his wife and children. Announcer, Central Bank of Nigeria.
The first triennial meeting of the Nigerian Interreligious Council this Wednesday opened in Owerri, the Imo State capital. Discussions held under the theme Building Mutual Trust for National Unity. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akome, represented President Bola Tinubu with the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Saad Abubakar III. President of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Archbishop Daniel Oko, and the Governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodimma, were in attendance. The meeting brought together religious and community leaders, policymakers, and major stakeholders. Details will come to you in our subsequent bulletins. Now time for sports news, and Badia Deleye is right here.
Many thanks, Yeri. Let's let you know that the story is changing for Nigeria swimmers who are breaking new records in swimming on the continent. And of course, Nigeria's Adama Abdul-Jabbar demonstrated that earlier this evening by breaking his own African record in 50 meters butterfly in 28.89 seconds to clinch the first gold medal for Nigeria at the ongoing African Swimming Championship in Egypt. Ty Pearson of South Africa finished second, while Mohamed Salem settled for bronze in 28.07 seconds. Now, basking from their impressive performance at the just concluded African Weightlifting Championship in Mauritius, where Team Nigeria finished with 18 medals, including 13 gold, 4 silver and 1 bronze. The Nigeria Weightlifting Federation is set for the upcoming National Sports Festival in Ogun State. The Federation's president, Abdul Ibrahim, in an exclusive with NTA Sports, says the athletes are motivated and poised to deliver impressive performances across various weightlifting categories in preparation for the upcoming international engagements.
We have some of the latest equipments that will be deployed for the festival. Not only that we have the equipment, we also have very good hands in terms of referees. We have referees who are category 1. We have referees who were juries in the last Olympics, and they will all come to the festival, bring their experience back home. This is our own Olympics. This is our own Olympics, and so.
Let's talk football now as Nigeria's Flying Eagles engaged the junior Carthage Eagles of Tunisia on Thursday in Egypt in their opening game of the 2025 Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations. Football fans are encouraging the team to go for a historic 8th title. The match between the Flying Eagles of Nigeria and junior Carthage Eagles of Tunisia comes up at 4 o'clock in the evening on Thursday.
They are very good. I've seen the players they took to Egypt. I've seen them, I've watched them play. Some of them I've played with them. So I believe that they can make us proud.
That zeal they used to train, I believe they are going to give us the good.
That does it on sports, but let's let you know it was a 3-3 draw between Barcelona and Inter Milan in the UEFA Champions League. It's back to Yara.
Many thanks, Buddy, for the update. Now, the late former Minister of State for Foreign Affairs and one-time member House of Representatives Dubem Onya has been described as a patriotic Nigerian whose exemplary leadership and contribution to national development cannot be forgotten in a hurry. These were some of the comments of notable personalities present at the night of tribute held in his honor in Enugu. Chidi Korafo reports.
Born in Ngwo, Enugu State in 1952, late Dubem Onya was a distinguished statesman and accomplished financial expert.
I mourn a revered leader, a cherished elder, whose life work will remain a guiding light to many.
News of his death came as a bombshell. He was a leader with a heart of gold.
Demonstrated representative democracy. The will set a very good example of a representative.
Letson is someone that gives listening ears to young people.
As we continue to celebrate his legacy, I ask that we carry forward not just memories, but the principles that guided his life, faith that inspires service.
During his days as the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, late Dubem Onya stirred key international collaborations, chaired bilateral commissions, and Nigeria's voice on global platform. Dubem Onya died at the age of 73. In Enugu, Chidi Okrafo, NTA News.
Also, sadly, the death has occurred of Sir Ogbonia Anthony Nwodo of Uwele Amakofia village of Ukehe in Igbotiti, local government area of Enugu State. He was aged 73. A statement by Kososochuku Nwodo on behalf of the family indicates that there will be a wake keep and vigil mass on May 1st by 5 p.m. at his Uwele Amakofia Ukehe residence on May 2nd. The body lies in state at his residence by 9 o'clock in the morning. A requiem mass in honor of the deceased will be held at Mother of Christ Catholic Church at Uwele Amakofia Ukehe by 11 a.m. Interment follows immediately after mass at the church premises. Late Sir Ogbonia Anthony Nwodo, retired as a director, National Council of Arts and Culture, is survived by wife, 6 children, and other relatives. And that concludes News Extra tonight. Many thanks for being a part of it, and from the entire production crew, do have a good night. See you in May.